What's up all my devil dogs, it's your boy Sean Otley, Strength Corps 5-star general. Welcome to another video on a topic that, as you can see, was pretty popular over this past weekend, and I'm sure you all can read. Now I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Fit with Knowledge. I'll put his Instagram on the screen really quickly. He actually was the first person to reach out to me and, you know, address the topic of this video and basically say, hey, you should make a video on your opinion. I would love to hear it. So shout out to him. I did get a few more DMs, which is why I decided to actually make the video. So without further ado, let's get into the topic so we can talk about it and get you guys out of here. So over the weekend, Chris Jones of Pump Chasers and Richard Burgess, also known as Vegan Gains, basically had like a back and forth debate, and it was pretty good. It was a pretty good, solid debate. It was one of the like more entertaining debates that, you know, I've seen over the past year or so. Like, people are always like feuding and fighting and beefing on YouTube, but it really wasn't like a beef. It was just kind of like Vegan Gains put out Chris actually started it. Chris put out why he doesn't do full body workouts. Vegan Gains responded. Chris then responded. Then Vegan Gains responded. So there was 4 total videos. I'll link them all in my description below if you want to go ahead and watch. I'll put them in chronological order so you can follow along. Maybe watch those before you watch this video, or you can just watch this video. I'll give you kind of a sum up of what happened, but I think it's good to watch the originals always. So basically, Chris put up his first video where he was basically talking about why he doesn't do full body. He mentioned a few things such as, you know, full body doesn't necessarily work for him because he prefers basically split routines due to, you know, lifting heavy weights and having to do that for multiple compound movements, basically taxing him. And, you know, he mentioned a lot of other things that you can check out in the video. Vegan Gains then responded basically with some scientific research showing why full body is better. Then Chris responded by showing that he knew about the research and then kind of picked fun at Vegan Gains for actually making the video on why full body is better yet not practicing full body, which Vegan Gains then responded to in his final video, basically rehashing a lot of what he said in the second video, but then saying that he hadn't been doing full body because of some lower body injuries he has suffered. But, you know, it was all in good fun. Neither Richard or Chris like had any like animosity or anything like towards each other. They were really cool. Vegan Gains respected the fact that Chris actually responded. Chris did not mind like Vegan Gains' humor and like kind of poking fun at him or whatever. So it was really cool to see just two people may have a disagreement but still like stay cool about it. What I wanted to basically do was just give my quick take on the videos and like not really delve too much into it. I mean, there's 4 videos on it. I'm just giving you guys my quick little opinion on things. So breaking down the argument or debate between these two, there was really 2 things that I noticed. That one was opinions and one were facts. So there was a lot of opinions going on, especially on Chris's videos, and then on Vegan Gains' side, there was a lot more facts going on. So let me kind of break it down and explain. So let's start with Chris and the opinions that he had. Yes, I did write notes because listen, your boy got a lot of things on his mind right now, and I can't memorize this stuff all the time. Sometimes, you know, you gotta take notes. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, so Chris actually stated that he's biased towards himself. So he did mention in his video when he was defending why he doesn't do full body, he prefers to do basically body part splits, more like upper lowers or push pull legs, 4 days on, 1 day off, 6 days straight, 1 day off. These things are staples of Chris Jones. If you follow his channel or if you have followed it for any length of time, you know that these are the training methods that he uses. So he did say that he's biased towards himself, and that's fine because he's mentioned that, which basically means, listen, I know that despite what research might be out there, I'm biased towards me. And that's cool because everybody's got their own, you know, way of training that they like. It may not be the most optimal, but if it works for you and it keeps you, you know, doing your workouts, then that's what's best for you, which we will get into later in the video. But so he did mention that, and that's fine, that's cool, that's dandy. Now, an opinion that Chris mentioned, whether or not it's his opinion or not, it came off as his opinion, but he did say that doing a 3-day-a-week full body routine, you couldn't get a bodybuilder body doing that. I'm gonna have to disagree with that just because there are people who may not necessarily do full body only 3 times a week, but that is their staple, and people such as my boy Marcellus Williams, also known as the Swolfessor, also Jerron of Jerron Fit, are really well known for doing full body workouts while having the aesthetics of actual bodybuilders. Like, if they wanted to compete in a bodybuilding show, they could, and actually Jerron has won using full body. So it's not to say that it's impossible to do. So I didn't agree with that opinion. I mean, that's just me. Chris also stated that full body is only for busy people, which again, kind of with my last point, I don't think you have to necessarily just be busy to do full body. Sometimes full body is just what's optimal. You know, you put in those 3 days, you take the other 4 days off, or to do cardio or some other type of like GPP work or something like that. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're busy. You know, you might have the time, but you just might be using this method because it's the most optimal method for growth. The last thing Chris kind of said was that upper lower split was good enough, and I have to agree with that. Like, you can definitely still make gains on an upper lower split. You don't have to train full body to make gains. Yes, it may be optimal for most people, but there's always outliers and there's always other things to take into an account, except, you know, besides the fact that, oh, this is the most optimal, which again we'll get to near the end of the video. Now, as far as the opinions on vegan gains side, he didn't really give many opinions. He really gave mostly facts, so there's not really much opinionated things I have to discuss on vegan gains, so we're just gonna move past that. Let's get into some of the facts, starting with Chris. So while Chris was, you know, saying that, you know, full body was something he really wasn't trying to do, like it's not really for him, he doesn't really give his clients it unless like they ask for it or like their schedule is hectic. I'm gonna have to disagree, because with all the science out there, it does show that, you know, volume and work capacity equated, like full body is better because your muscle protein synthesis stops after a couple of days. So by stimulating your full body 3 times a week, you're getting more stimulation than if you did a, you know, twice a week like upper lower split, or even if you did, or especially if you're only doing once a week, you're really leaving a lot of gains on the table, like a lot. So I won't break down the numbers. Vegan Gains actually did that in his video, which again you can check out in the description down below. Now, a second point that Chris mentioned was that he would be too tired after doing like a set of squats and having to go bench. Now, I've got a squat and bench day every week personally, and while at first it is really hard to do because you're going from a big movement, moving a lot of weight, you know, to another big movement, you know, moving a lot of, that could be a lot, you know, neurally, but your body will adapt to that work capacity. That adaptation will happen once you know, stick to that workout, you know, strategy, you know, for a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, your body adapts and it's not so hard. You know, you can move that heavy weight on the squat, take a little bit of time, and then go move some heavy weight on a deadlift or a bench press. I've done squats and deadlifts on the same day, which I actually have to do today. I've done squats and bench on the same day. Deadlifts and everything else on the same day, deadlifts and bench I think would be a little bit easier than squats and deadlifts, because those are very taxing. If you can do those two on the same day, you can pretty much do any combination of the two on a day. Doing all three is tough. As you saw from my powerlifting meet, I did 9 total lifts and was fried for like a week. So I can definitely say doing all 3 max effort in a day can be a bit taxing. So that, I'm gonna have to say, in my opinion, is very tough. Now, Vegan Gains, he put out a lot of science, and as you guys know, like, I'm not really a bro science guy. A lot of people I was reading in the comments like, oh, bro science always win. No, bro science is freaking stupid, okay? Like, we have to take, listen, bro science, it might be cool, and you might, you know, practice bro science, and that's cool, but I mean, in my opinion, it's not cool, but hey, who am I, right? But bro science, it's never right, okay? Like, you can't say, oh, bro science is right, the scientific evidence is what, it's like, it's scientific evidence. You're gonna go to a doctor and tell him that he's wrong based on science? You're like, oh, nah, that pill's not gonna work. All right, I read somewhere on T Nation, or on, not that T Nation doesn't have some good stuff, but you know, or bodybuilding.com, you know, because they have the best articles, right? You're gonna take that and use it to refute something that's scientifically been studied in peer-reviewed articles, or it has meta-analysis behind it, basically disproving, you know, what you're trying to prove. Like BCAAs, you know, the fact that they're useless, and y'all still out here trying to find reasons to use them. Y'all are trying to find reasons to spend $30 a month on BCAAs when it's shown that they do nothing. But you know what, that whole other topic for a whole nother video. So I'm gonna have to say, most of Vegan Gains' facts were on point. He backed it up with the science, you know, with the volume equated, you know, over the same course of time, that same period of time, it is better to get that frequency and stimulation from a full body workout 3 times a week as opposed to a once a week bro split, or a twice a week upper body, lower body type of, routine. The only thing Vegan Gains didn't take into account that Chris actually did, and this is fact, is adherence. I think adherence is something that people don't necessarily take into account a lot of the times. People don't realize that what might be most optimal might not keep somebody in the gym. Somebody might not enjoy training full body. They might not want to squat and then go bench and then do like pull-ups and, all these other upper body and lower body movements on the same day. They may actually enjoy going to the gym more and they know, oh, I'm about to get a massive chest pump, Not that you want to just do a whole bunch of fluff and pump, but you want to make sure that you're getting progressive overload on the big compound movements, and then you can go ahead and put in some isolation work or whatever. And some people find it a lot more fun. It keeps them in the gym longer, and longevity is going to beat out anything. Somebody who practices full body 3 times a week and they do it for 2 months and then quit, for those 2 months that they did it, they were making optimal gains, but then they quit, as opposed to somebody who maybe instead they do like a bro split where it's not the most optimal, but if they're doing it over the course of an entire year, as opposed to somebody who only is going to work out for 2 months and then stop, then of course, that longevity is what matters. So adherence is something that's very, very important, not only in nutrition, but also in your training, because while your training might not be the most optimal in terms of muscle gains in the shortest amount of time, if you enjoy it more, you're going to stick with it, and that's going to give you gains in the long term. So that is basically my opinion. Yes, full body workouts, they're better. Like scientific, they're better. Optimally speaking, you cannot sit here and say a bro split or 2 days hitting your muscles 2 days a week, or upper lower, or push pull legs. You can't say any of that is better than full body, because there's science behind, there is meta-analysis backing the fact that full body is best. But that's just on the training itself. You have to take into account other things like adherence. Are you going to even adhere to that type of training? Do you enjoy it? Those things come into play as well. And also one other thing, just really quickly with that, a lot of times with full body, I think where people get confused is that they think full body, so they have to do like a bench press and then chest flies and then rows like they think that they take an entire bro split type of day, like an entire chest day, and they have to do all of that chest day, all that back day, all that shoulder day, all that leg day, and push it into one. It's like, no, you want to do mostly compounds with maybe 1 additional or 2 additional at most, like isolation movements. And that's what a full body is. I think some people think that full body, you have to be in the gym 3 and 4 hours hitting basically 4 workouts in 1 workout, and that's not how it works. So I think that's why people have this negative stigma towards full body workouts. But if you do it correctly and you don't wreck yourself by doing that, then they're definitely better. All right, guys, I would like to hear what your opinions are. Do you like to train full body? Do you not like to train full body? Have you ever? I haven't personally, but I'm not going to deny the fact that it does give the most gains. I train in a way that helps me to reach my goals, helps me to adhere to my training, and makes it fun for me. If I'm having fun, I'm more likely to stick with it. If I'm doing something that's optimal, I will stick with it because I have the discipline, but I'm not gonna have as much fun. I'm not gonna be in my bag, and when I'm in my bag, I'll be moving weight, and that's what we're trying to do out here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to subscribe, leave a thumbs up down below. It really helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscription button so you get notifications for all my new videos. And of course, don't forget the orders. Subscribe and share, like and comment, follow all my social media. Till next time. Oh, did I do that right? Is it on the right side? Oh, follow all my social media. Yeah, I definitely messed that up. Till next time, all my devil dogs, dismiss. I love. Don't play with me, that's the only thing I love.